Hello, my space-loving friends, and welcome to another of my Friday lists. This week we are going to be discovering my favorite science fiction books. This week I have a treat for you because not only do I have 5, but I have an honorable mention that everyone should read because it's just that good and very quotable. So, to start, I should also mention that I'm actually mostly going on series rather than individual books for this one, because to me, really, for these series are what really tells the story rather than an individual book, which is more like getting a sampler instead of getting the actual meal. So the first series on this list is the Chris Longknife series by Mike Shepard. I really enjoyed this series. Some of the reasons why is because the main character is one of those who, rather than having everything handed to her, which she really legitimately could have done as the daughter of the prime minister of this planet, or grouping of planets, I think it's just one planet, decides to go into the Navy and do it under her own merits, and basically fights the control of her family who want to use her for their own political means, even if they do love her in their own way. And she's just like, no, I do what I want, and goes off and makes a lot of trouble, but also legitimately saves lives over and over and over again. I love the politics. I love the space battles. I love the sneaky spy stuff. I love the futuristic tech. I love the characters. I love the alien races. I mean, there's very little I didn't love about this series. It's definitely worth a read. I gotta say, though, the only downside I have to say about this is that several books in, it started feeling like it went a little slow for me. A little bit of, okay, we've seen this, we've done this before, give me something new. I have not gone back to it in a while, and there may be new books that I have not read. Definitely going to have to look into that, but all in all, still one of my favorite series. Okay, Series 2, I actually have done a book review on the first book of this series before. I will link that in for those who are curious. And this is the Rules of Redemption series by T.A. White. I was actually thoroughly tempted to do a different science fiction series from her, just because I have done the review before. I decided not to because this one is more definitively science fiction than the other one was. And, well, the other one is most definitely a science fiction story. It has fantasy elements in it that I thought, made it a little harder to have on this particular list. I love her series. All of her series are fantastic, whether they are urban fantasy or science fiction or whatever. I love all of her stuff. So check out T.A. White. All of her stories are fantastic. One of the things I really loved about this series is the fact that there is mystery everywhere. The main character has a mysterious past. The whole universe is chock full of mysteries that she keeps having to go around unraveling to save herself and those she loves, and, oh yeah, everybody else as well. I love the fact that this is one of those stories where there is no absolute good and evil. There is shades of gray across the board. And that the baddies are not just baddies. I mean, yeah, they're most definitely bad. But it is not the sum total of who and what they are, and I like the fact that there is that depth involved, and that the author kind of feeds along all of these little hints throughout that makes you keep wanting to uncover more and more. It's like the best Easter egg hunt ever. Another thing I really loved about this series is the fact that the romance isn't horribly irritating to me. One of the things that drives me nuts about some romance stories is that, sometimes the main character is a nice, the female lead, the female lead is incredibly strong and whatever, or not. And then some guy comes along and suddenly she's this, fainting violet. Everything, she's there as a cheerleader while the man goes and does the big important things. And to me, that's wrong. It just feels wrong. And next, I have the Valor series by Tanya Huff. The first book being Valor's Choice. I love this series. I love the first book in particular, but I loved all of the series itself. I like Tanya Huff's writing style. I loved the fact that the poor character is tough as nails, but tossed into unfortunate situation after unfortunate situation, all to serve other people's agendas. And it cost lives, which, she has no truck with. I love the fact that the alien species are awesome, up to and including peaceful spiders who like to act as combat medics, which freak out the poor people who are being sent to the medical tent. I don't know about you, but being horribly injured and then picked up by giant spiders probably would give me nightmares. Poor spiders. I also love the fact that the main character, her parents were farmers and they wanted her to be a farmer, so she ran away and decided she was going to join the Marines and never looked back. And frankly, I can respect that you want a life of your own, not dictated by others, and therefore that's what you're going to do. And I say bravo to her, because definitely makes a good story. The fourth item on my list today is the Katie Kincaid series by Andrew von Aardvark. Would I call this a series that had just topped the charts? Probably not. It's a good, solid read. It is an enjoyable read. I liked the fact that the author took, a long time to get into a massive amount of action, it felt like, but was never boring. During the entire training situation, never boring. There's some politics going on in here, but it's a lot more subtle. Not overarching politics, but the small everyday politics that I think most people take for granted, like between families. When you discover that one parent runs away from the expectations to do her own thing, and you do the same because what they want you to do is not what you want to do. I think that's, a level of drama that I can appreciate. It's not overwhelming. It's not the entire thing, but it adds serious flavor to the story. The characters were also solid characters, and the female lead was another one of those who wanted to do it on their own merits, who wanted to not have things handed to her, and just wanted to make her mark on life under her own power and with her own talents and skills, which I can highly respect. The fifth on my list has a special place in my heart. I actually picked up the fifth book of this series and absolutely fell in love with it, and started from the first book and read right on through, and that is the Honor Harrington series by David Weber. I should make a disclaimer. I am one of those nerds that if I fall hard enough for something and I find out that there is a fan group, I will probably join it, which I did for this. Not only is there a fan group, but they cosplay, so of course I was sold. Wonderful series. It's got something for everyone, for space battles for your armchair admirals, to politics, to fantastic character development, not just for the main character, but for a lot of the different characters. The author does a fantastic job looking deep into what makes each of these characters tick, and does it in a wonderful way. Plus, tree cats. No way you don't love tree cats. I have 3 stuffed tree cats myself, and they just make me happy when I get to see them. So, love the tree cats. Love the series. Definitely recommend having a look at it. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Nope. Just an all-around fantastic read. And now, for a special treat, I don't just have my 5, but I also have an honorable mention. If you have not read this book / series of books, read it. So worth it. It is iconic. It should be required reading for every child in school, I feel. And that is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. There are so many quotable things in this book. Everything from what is the meaning of life, the universe and everything, 42, to the bowl of petunias, and making sure you have your towel. I could go on. One of the things that I really love about this series is that it throws really hard moralistic questions at you in an entertaining way and makes you think, which to me is a hallmark of a really good book. You should have to think. It should not be something that just makes you is a talking point to everything you already agree with. It should make you question your own everything, just by pulling you into situations that are not necessarily incredibly clear-cut. That is a personal thing, and I by no means expect everybody's going to agree with me, but I like being forced to question my beliefs, and I like debating with other people, not necessarily to convince them that I'm right, because that would be an impossible task, but rather to open all of our minds a little bit and make us think. I like to think. So, yeah, let me know if all of you in the comments what your favorite science fiction books are, if there's any that you just absolutely love or love to hate. Let me know if there are any books that you would absolutely recommend or recommend never to read. Also perfectly valid. Yeah, so that's all I've got for you this week. I hope that your weekend goes amazing, and I will see you again on Wednesday. May your day be epic, and make awesomeness follow you like a sad puppy needing hugs. Bye all.